Um, I'd like you to talk about your most memorable experience in the fire department, and then I'd like to ask all of you if you could think of your advice to the Fairfax County Asian American History Project, what we should look for in the community. But start with your most memorable experience as a firefighter in Fairfax.
Yeah, there's plenty. I mean, after 17 years, this job is great. There's so many memorable experiences, good and bad. The bad part would be, the Pentagon. I was there as one of the early units there in the Pentagon.
911?
Yes, on 9/11. And I certainly was there with my partner. My partner happens to be one of my best friends. So I remember going down the highway when the highway was isolated and no one was on the road except a caravan of fire department vehicles headed towards the Pentagon. When you can see the public walking on the highway with their briefcase and their suits and all that, and no vehicles were allowed on the highway except us, and me looking over to one of my best friends and, just us trying to get in touch with our family because we knew that this is not to be taken lightly, and we really didn't know what to expect, what was going to happen. So that's one of my memorable moments. The other one would be my first year in the department. Again, coming into the department.
What year was that?
That was in 1991. It was like high school. It's like an eye-opener. Hey, you're here now. You are different. You got to know that, and it's just something you have to accept and something you have to recognize. But then that shouldn't keep you from being who you are and who you want to be. And that my first year was very challenging. It's a lot of adjustment. But also during my first year, I had my first rescue in a fire. I was able to find a lady who was overcome by smoke.
Where was this?
This was in Indiana, where I was assigned, and I was able to pull her out. And one of the greatest feelings I've had is after I pulled her out and realized that we were able to revive her, and she was able to live several years after that. The feeling that I got from my peers, meaning mostly Americans, and the acceptance they gave me. That
you mean non-Asians? You're American too.
Yes, exactly, non-Asians.
Non-Asian.
The feeling they gave me of acceptance that night and throughout my career, ever since I did that rescue, it's like an acceptance, saying, "Hey, you are part of us. You are part of this fire department. You belong to Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department." And that was a great feeling within my first year, because that was my rookie year when you're trying to find out where you belong in this department. And that feeling's continued throughout my career. There's just moments where I have accomplished some things or done certain things that you get a pat on the back from the non-Asians and saying, "Hey, good job." So.
Do you have any advice? Oh, go ahead.
I think that's a very significant point you just made, because he's younger, but he started with the department early. He kind of set the pace and kind of filled in the gaps, because when I joined, it seemed like it was an easier transition. It could have been because of his actions, but that should be a lesson to new Asian Americans coming into this country, is that we kind of set the tone. We have to keep up and strive for more, and so that the future Asian American community just develops better and better with the country and the community. So that's a very good point you just made.
Do you have any advice for the Fairfax County Asian American History Project for us? What do you think? Is there anything you think we should look at? Or do you have any addition to the discussion that we've had today?
Well, I guess we really don't have any. Or for myself, I think just the interviews alone, I think each individual brings a lot of information, and I think even though some of our experiences might be similar, there is a lot of aspects that we do differently, or how we contribute to the community, and how we also in our relationships with the community are different. So I think each individual will bring a little bit of different things to the heritage.
And Jay?
Advice for that project is probably just to see how we work and how we review the department. Not just for just us in the fire department, just also, and police, and also the individual small businesses out there, and how they contribute in Fairfax, because there's a lot of us here in Fairfax County, rather than other counties like Prince William or Culpeper or something like that. So there's a lot of contributions, I should say, that agents are doing for our community.
And Pat, then I will let our senior firefighter end the discussion.
Well, exposure is probably the best way. It's kind of like bring the public to us, try to make them realize what we do, we're there. Comparing maybe the gaps, like I made a little comparison when my brother started and then when I started. You know, going back a little bit, seeing how things are now and what could be in the future. So I think that's important.
And last word.
Yeah, I think what's going on now is great. You know, you're here interviewing us. Hopefully it won't stop after the project, after 2010. I think it's important that it continues. I think it's really important that the Asian heritage stays and stays strong in Fairfax County. You know, maybe a little bit more fiestas or celebration to make it happen.
With
you know.
dinuguan and adobo,
Yeah,
pancit.
Yeah.
You'll cook, okay?
But yeah, I mean, reach out and touch, you know, the other Asians. You know, one of our platforms, as far as the association, would try to mentor younger kids. And I think as early as we can touch them, I think the better it is, just to let them remember, hey, you know, you are Asian and you do have a heritage that you should be proud of, and you should continue to practice in some ways. In the meanwhile, continue living here in Fairfax County as an American, because you definitely don't want to keep yourself from all the benefits that this county has to offer.